Thanks to Zane Lowe and the Nations for the last 2 hours on Radio 1. It's Thursday night. How are you? It's 9 o'clock. It's In New Music We Trust with me, Pete Tong. And it's just
one day to go
until Radio 1's big weekend in Preston.
In New Music We Trust.
On the show tonight, we get all the goss from Groove.Armada. Mr. Madonna, a.k.a. Stuart Price, a.k.a. the Thin White Duke, is back with a Gwen Stefani remix. We get an exquisite choice from Mr. David Guetta. And check out the clubbing hotspots of where else but our host city, Preston, in my scene. You get the who, the why, the what and the when on this show and on the bill at Radio 1's big weekend in Preston. And kicking us off tonight, here come the gossip. For Radio 1's big weekend in Preston, the gossip, and listen up.
In New Music We Trust.
This is In New Music We Trust with me, Pete Tong. Now, coming up on the show tonight, we get down and have a cup of tea with Groove.Armada.
The headline of the paper was Seaman Sinks Armada.
We'll be hearing from our lovely listeners on the listening post.
Hi Pete, it's Yasmin in Tunbridge Wells.
And we find out all about the clubbing hotspots and the bars of Preston in my scene.
My name is Tim Pearson. I'm the promoter of Feel up in Preston.
There'll also be a recommendation from Mr. David Guetta.
Hey Pete, this is David Guetta. This is my hot track of the moment.
And we get more hot new music for the weekend. This is Stonebridge Radio 1. both Swedes, could it be that Stonebridge is the grandfather of the Swedish house mafia and Mr. Henrik B is one of the new young upstarts? The brand new single from Stonebridge, SOS, as remixed by Henrik B. And this is brand new, world exclusive first play of Gwen Stefani's 4 in the Morning as remixed by that man with many talents. It's the Thin White Duke.
World exclusive. Waking up to find another day. The moon got lost again last night, but now the sun is finally had its say. I guess feel alright, but it hurts when I think we'll let it sink in. It's all over me. I'm lying here in the dark. I'm watching this. It hurts a lot. You got to give me everything. You know I'll give you all of me. You got to give me everything. You know I'll give you, give you. All I wanted was to know I'm safe. Don't wanna lose the love I found. Remember when you said that you would change? Don't let me down. It's not fair how you are. I can't be complete. Can you give me more? 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 Can you give me more?
Radio 1 big weekend a couple of years ago in Sunderland. Gwen Stefani back with a Thin White Duke thumping remix of 4 in the morning. Now, news time. The UK's biggest free event lands in Preston tomorrow night.
Radio 1's big weekend in Preston. Saturday, May 19th, Sunday, May 20th.
I'll be live from the University of Central Lancashire's Students' Union from 7, getting the party started.
We're living for the weekend. Radio 1's big weekend in Preston.
On radio,
on TV,
and online
at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
We are the news this weekend. With an extra stage added this year, Radio 1 brings you the best DJs and hottest tracks to get the summer festival season sizzling. Radio 1 DJs Judge Jules, Dave Pearce, Zane Lowe, Annie Mac, some bloke called Pete Tong, and some very special guests, Mark Ronson, David Guetta, Mech, and the Freemasons. Also live music from Groove.Armada and Calvin Harris. It's going to be big. Yes, it's Radio 1's big weekend this weekend. Here's the full lineup if you missed it.
big weekend in Preston. Saturday, May 19th, Sunday, May 20th.
Including
Stereophonics,
CSS,
Westwood,
Razorlight,
Rob the Bank,
Seamus Haji,
Groove.Armada,
The Fratellis,
Kasabian,
Mr. Jam,
Annie Mac,
Calvin Harris,
The Twang,
The View,
Pete Tong,
Mark Ronson,
Biffy Clyro,
Cold War Kids, Scissor Sisters,
The Gossip,
LCD Sound System,
Natasha Bedingfield,
The Enemy,
Mech,
MIA,
Dizzy Rascal,
Cladsons,
The Pigeon Detectives,
Trophy Twins,
Mika,
The Fray,
Get Cape, Where Cape Fly,
Kaiser Chiefs,
Judge Jules,
Tim Deluxe,
Jamie T,
Simeon Mobile Disco,
Rihanna,
Bobby and Nihal,
Just Jack,
Zane Lowe,
Block Party,
Maximo Park,
Tyler Lee,
Fergie,
David Guetta,
Dave Pearce. For free. This weekend.
Radio 1's big weekend in Preston.
On radio.
On Red Button.
On TV.
And online at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1.
Okay, it's time to have three from me. Three tracks that go in completely different directions. First up, it's the Shapeshifters, as remixed by Lifelike. Brand new single from the Shapeshifters is Pusher on Positiva. And this is the Crayfish Rocket on Underwater from Ingo Starr. Brand new on Underwater, Ingo Starr and Crayfish Rocket. And let's take another right turn. This coming out of Australia, Mark Alston and Anthony Velarde. It is, as we say in the trade, a moment. Pianos Are Large for Mark Alston and Anthony Velarde. It's called A Moment, forthcoming on Wasted Youth. Before that, Ingo Starr and Crayfish Rocket and the Shapeshifters' new single, Get a Lifelike remix on Pusher. Don't forget to get a full track list of this show. Go to Radio 1 online at bbc.co.uk/Radio 1. You can also get it on your phone. Just text me the word mobile to 81199 and I'll send you the link.
Pete Tong's in new music we trust.
Okay, now time for this week's special guest. We sat down and had a cup of tea with a couple of guys that not only hosted the official start to the weekend a few weeks back, but also played a very special album launch gig at the Hammersmith Palais, which happened to be the last ever show to be staged there. Here they are, Groove.Armada.
National
Radio 1.
I'm Tom Finlay and I'm one half of Groove.Armada.
I'm Andy Cato and I'm the other one. We actually got started in 1996, but the first piece of vinyl didn't come out to the following year. It was basically a trade-off between Tom teaching me football skills in exchange for bringing round some funk and soul vinyl to my studio on a Sunday afternoon to loop things up and have a mess about. My dad was a jazz trombone player, purely amateur, so he got me started as soon as I could, really, sort of playing blues and the piano. Quite a good grounding. So yeah, coming from there through Level 42, the early tapes, to an epiphany with Sasha in Leeds in about 1988, 89, and the rest is history.
I always played instruments, but just really quite badly. I kind of then took up the bass guitar to join a funk band, mainly to meet women, which was when I was about 16. That was what it was all about for me, really. But then I just got really into that sort of what was then the kind of rare groove scene. But that's how I started out, really, as a sort of funk DJ. And it was only ever sort of thought seriously about it as a career. And I spent a year in New York working for a company called Empire Productions with loads of hip-hop artists and stuff, which was fun. It was a bit out there. And I think it was then that I actually thought, I actually really like this business and I really want to work in it. And I didn't necessarily think I was going to do it necessarily on the creative side. But just sort of me and Andy, really, it sort of came out of that. And I still find it absolutely baffling I'm making a career out of music. Somebody's going to come up and tap me on the shoulder and say you can't get away with it any longer. But yeah, so far I've got away with it.
In new music we trust.
We used to put out 12s, which was purely to publicise a night we used to do. It was called Groove.Armada, where Andy would play upstairs and I'd play downstairs. And then the sort of the club never really did it. There's a guy called Tim Lee that runs a label called Tummy Touch, and Tim Lee's from the same town as me. Encouraged us to make an album, and we went away and we did the first album, which is Northern Star. We did the whole thing in a week, like Saturday to Saturday. And I remember even like At the River was the big tune on that album, and that came from a sample CD in the old local shop with an E on the end, the old local shoppy. And in a little bargain bucket right at the front there was that Patty Pay sample. So it all happened in a week and sort of came back. And I don't think we ever really thought much of it even then. And then the album came out, and I think it got like a music magazine album of the month. In fact, my mum and dad have still got that review on their toilet wall. It's a nice place to put it.
The DJing thing has been quite mental over the past 5-6 years. Every summer we've got the Space residency, more or less. We play a lot of Pasha. Every time we go and play somewhere, it is packed, which is one of the greatest sort of accolades you can have, really, when people are working all week and parting with their cash to come and hear you play records. It's a great thing. We take a lot of pride in that. The live thing really is our sort of defining factor. It's become our defining factor. A way of finding a way of playing dance music live took a long time. It took a lot of absolutely awful gigs, but we've nailed it.
For starters, I'm not on stage. People have always gone about it. I stopped playing like a few years ago. I'm basically not a very good musician, so I kind of like a much better producer than a DJ and I'm a musician. I get by, so it doesn't really seem worth it. Now that we've done the Get Down video with the bunny suits, it's opening up all sorts of possibilities for me to get into a bunny suit, which I'm totally up for. So I don't go on stage. I'm sort of more in the sound tower, kind of more like a director, I guess, is probably the best way of describing it, slightly lofty. And then it's Andy on trombone and keys. We've got this guy called Martin Carling on drums and George Vajestica on guitar, and we've got the Milky Bar Kid on bass, and then MAD, who's the MC from Superstar, and he's up front, with Stush, who's the girl who's vocal in Get Down, and then a girl called Viva, who's done a lot of work with like Ray and Christian in the past, and she's our sort of on-stage Viva diva.
I mean, it is quite wild while. But you can imagine, there's no sort of differentiation between band and crew with just 15 mates getting a massive shot of adrenaline in the arm every night. So I've got a very small studio in Barcelona with no windows and quite little oxygen as well. And Tom came over for 6 weeks and we sat in this room for the entire period, more or less. And yeah, got it done. The album is called Soundboy Rock, which came from a reggae track which features M.A.D., our superstarring vocalist, and also the only member of Groove.Armada other than me and Tom to feature on every album. So he's been in for a while. Let's kick off with the mellow one and work back up again. So this is featuring the vocal talents of
Jeb Lloyd Nichols.
And it's a tune called What's Your Version?
Actually, and Tim Hutton as well, which
oh, yeah.
He does
True.
Seem like the same sun. Well, it don't shine for everyone. And it seems like that same raindrop never fall on each rooftop. Seems like the same leaf. It never fall twice, never fall from the same tree.
The next track is featuring the vocal talents of Rhymefest and also Jack Splash.
Yeah, and Jack Splash he's a nice fella. He's in that band called Plant Life. He does the sort of the chorus stuff.
Okay, this is what I'm on. Kick it to the club when it's on in the sound. Freeing my mind from all that's going on. Trying to be right, but it feels so wrong. God damn it, I'm wrong. Don't turn the lights on. I don't need y'all to tell me when to go home. 2, 3, 4 in the mall. It's a free world, I can do what I want. DJ, raise it back up. Who got that weed? We can blaze it back up. Look at that girl, she can make it back up. We was just cranking up and y'all leaving for what? Man, I thought it was a party, y'all. We could all get it cracking like Mardi Gras. You can take your beads out, pull off your bra. But if you try to stand me up, I'ma probably fall. So I might have to be the one to turn the world around. For love and hate and make the world get down. And you might have to be the one to change it with me too. And if they try to stop us, we'll say for you.
In other girls' set.
Well, this one, we're going to pick this one because a couple of friends of ours just got back from the States and said it was their soundtrack for a memorable holiday. So for that reason alone, I'm sure they're listening, we're going to choose this. This is called The Things We Could Share, and it features Simon Law from Simian Mobile Disco.
It's a great record. I really love his stuff. He's got a great way of getting across quite a kind of emotional, lovely idea, but in a kind of real, everyday sort of style. So it's a kind of a bit of a love song in a way, but on a dance track.
It's a tender relation between my anger and my patience, and a direct connection between my love and inspiration. It's a tender relation between my anger and my patience, and a direct connection between my love and inspiration. I need a warm hand to cool me down. I need a soft voice to drown me out. I need emptiness to fill my soul. I need a question mark to make me whole. I'll be the boy at the back of the bus with my eyes on the back of your head. I'll be the girl on the front seat telling your friend that he never really cared. Things that we could share. Things that we could share.
Many thanks to Groove.Armada, and we really look forward to seeing them live at Radio 1's Big Weekend on Saturday. I think I'm introducing them. Now, if you haven't been lucky enough to get a ticket, then you can still hear and see it all at Radio 1 online. And now it's time for One for the Weekend. And guess what? It's me.
A little something for the weekend, perhaps?
As it's Radio 1's Big Weekend, I had to pick an extra large track. This is the coming together of two classics, really. One, a kind of contemporary classic from the last few months. Another from many years ago. This is Magenta by Arno Cost and Arias. But the vocals that have been added come from the classic Show Me Love from Robin S. Enjoy. festival moment, trust me. If we had a roof on our tent, it would blow it off. But as we've got a lovely outdoor stage, we can't do that. My one for the weekend, Arno Costanarius meets Robin S. and Magenta, Show Me Love. Time to have a look at some of the albums that you can get your hands on or download this weekend. First up, Kevin Saunderson and the Detroit Connection. Detroit house and techno legend Kevin Saunderson shows off his 20 years of experience as a DJ and producer on this mix CD. There's classics, there's upfront tunes. Go get it, it's good. And it sounds like this. Global Underground, GU Mixed. The Global Underground crew serve up another slice of the world's finest dance music. Now, there are 2 CDs here of exclusive and unreleased music from around the globe, with a bonus third disc of a classics mix covering 88 to 95 with hidden gems from Sasha, the Prefab Sprout, remember them, West Bam, Frank DeWolf, and Left Field. You want some? It sounds like this. The techno rock outfit that are Alloy Mental dropped their long player. 3 years in the making, We Have Control fuses sounds that really shouldn't go together so well. You can catch the Belfast 3 on tour at various festivals this summer, including Glastonbury and Tea in the Park.
And it goes a little something like this. I looked up about what you said. It didn't really matter at the end of the day. I looked up about what you said. It didn't really matter at the end of the day.
That's what we're recommending. And now, let's find out what's turning you on.
In new music, we trust.
Hey, P.O., we just want Shakira and Beyonce on for that Freemasons mix.
It's Yasmin in Tunbridge Wells. I'm a massive Mex fan. I'd love it if you could play me Feels Like Home. Cheers, mate.
It's Glyn here in Bristol, really excited for one big weekend. Can't believe I won the tickets. If you could just play Calvin Harris, Girls, that would be great. Thanks a lot.
Now, baby, I've got a lot of love to give. And I've been oversubscribed with relationships. See, you've got a little thing I haven't seen before. But I must warn ya that I can't help but play around for sure, because I get all the girls, 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 I get all the girls. I get all the girls, I get all the girls,
would like to be on the listening post. If you've got a favourite, you heard it in a bar, a club, you picked it up on the radio somewhere or online, you can be doing that on next week's show. All you have to do is get yourself online to bbc.co.uk/Radio1/In New Music We Trust and click on my face, fill in the details, and we could have you on the radio in 7 days' time.
In New Music We Trust.
My scene time now, and there can be no other place to visit this weekend than Preston.
The thing about Preston and the people of Lancashire and stuff is that they really, really know how to have a good party.
There's a real buzz about the city of Preston at the moment with regard to the dance scene, and lots of little nights that come up and do monthlies.
So just get yourselves out and come and have a good time.
Hi, my name is Tim Pearson. I'm the promoter of Feel up in Preston. Feel started back in 1994. It was born out of the rave era of the time. We were going to places like the Hacienda and Cream and Renaissance and just basically living for the weekends. And we got together and we thought we really should do our own night in Preston. We've been doing a lot of illegal warehouse parties in places like Blackburn and going over to Wigan and stuff. And just knew that there was a scene desperate to sort of happen over in Preston in the local area. Since then, the scene has sort of shifted and it's gone very much into the whole sort of the culture of the late night bars around Preston. There's places like Revolution and there's a bar called Hush. This is where the sort of club kids are going nowadays.
My name's Chris the Mentalist and I'm a resident of Feel. Top places to go to in Preston for a night out. There's a bar down on Glover's Court called Hush. They have DJs throughout the week playing, you know, anything from house up to a bit of electro, bit of funk, bit of rare groove, bit of northern soul. You've got a bar on Glover's Court as well, The Loft. Obviously, you've got Kabuki. You've got Feel, that's on this weekend for one big weekender. I tend to play the funkier edge side of things. One of my favourite tracks at the moment is Dennis Ferrer's Church Lady, the Mother Funkers mix.
Hi, I'm Ben from Good Grief. Good Grief is a night in Preston at 53 Degrees. The music stems from trance, techno, hard dance and house across several rooms. We've got unbelievable residents. They're the ones that really started it all off, and we've always been looking for new talent. It was something that we push all the time. We were looking for a female DJ to join our Good Grief stable for many years, and we came across Tyler, who is a very, very talented girl. She plays across the board from house to tech trance, and she's really, really setting the scene on fire at the moment with playing at all major clubs in the UK and internationally.
Hi, I'm Tyler Lee. I used to go clubbing every week, absolute passion for it. You know, watching the DJ every week just made me really, really interested and really wanted to do it for myself, really. When you interact with the crowd and, you know, they're appreciating the music you're playing, you're appreciating their appreciation, that's what gets the atmosphere going for me, and that's what makes it so special. I am a trance DJ, but, you know, that goes under lots of different genres now. You've got like electro trance, tech trance, techno, all kind of goes under one kind of genre now, really.
When I heard Radio 1's One Big Weekend was coming to Preston, I was really excited due to the fact that it'll just bring fantastic people into the city. If you can't for some reason make it, you can always tune into Radio 1, where you'll hear the Essential Mix live from our party on Saturday night.
Weekend, there's so much to look forward to. Obviously the after party, Good Grief, can't wait for that with Cutsy and obviously Judge Jules. I'm also going to be doing my first house set with Radio 1's own Mistress to Funk in the back room as well, so I'm really looking forward to that. So just get yourselves down and come and have a good time.
Feel this weekend is going to be a bit of a mixture of local DJs and obviously the Radio 1 DJs like Annie Mac, Pete Tong. In the back room I've got myself, Chris the Mentalist, playing back to back with Mark Kovic.
Hi, I'm Mark Kovic. It's absolutely massive to have the big weekend in Preston, whatever. To have Pete Tong in Preston is something that's never happened before. It's something they've been after for a long, long time, and it's wicked that it's going to happen.
Hi, I'm Duke O'Hagan. I'm the main room resident for Feel. Biggest highlight of my weekend will most certainly be playing alongside Pete Tong on Saturday night at the Feel Radio 1 official after show party. That's what I'm looking forward to.
get down to One Big Weekend this weekend because the after parties are going to go through the roof. Going to be absolutely wicked. We'll show you all a really good time.
Many thanks to the good people of Preston, and we'll find out if it's all true from tomorrow night.
Pete Tong's In New Music We Trust.
Musically now we continue. This is Julian Jewel and Air Conditioning. It's very large. It's called Air Conditioning from Julian Jewel. You're listening to In New Music We Trust, a 60-minute guide through the ups and downs, the lefts and rights of dance music from around the globe. And continuing now...
How are you going to get this one? It's too completely...
Drum and bass style. This is Example.
Down low.
It's on Ram Records, one of the cornerstone labels on the drum and bass scene, The Lowdown from Example. Don't forget, Fab and Groove have more drum and bass Friday night at midnight, and of course, do check out our sister station, One Extra as well. That's almost it for me on In New Music We Trust, but we still have time to tip you on 5 more hotties for the future. First up, one of my favourite DJs and producers in Italy. It's an epic track from him. It's 12 minutes long, in fact, but here's just a taster of Joe T. Vanelli. Prelude. The full-length version is epic, trust me, Joe T. Vanelli. And this, last week's essential new tune from Dubfire. Gone solo and really starting to make some good sounding records. Roadkill, Cedric Gervais remixing that in a very honourable style. It is Dubfire, of course, last week's essential new tune. And here's a choice from my man in Paris, David Guetta.
Hey Pete, this is David Guetta. I'm so looking forward to the party. We're gonna have great fun, and this is my hot track of the moment. It's one of my own, Love Is Gone.
What are we supposed to do after all that we've been through? When everything that felt so right is wrong. Now that the love is gone, there is nothing left to prove. No use to deny this simple truth. Can't find the reason to keep holding on. Now that the love is gone, what are we supposed to do after all that we've been through? When everything that felt so right is wrong. Now that the love is gone, there is something left to prove. No use to deny this simple truth. Can't find the reason to keep holding on. Now that the love is gone, is
Coming from Paris all the way to Preston tomorrow. Many thanks to David Guetta for his choice. And this is Danism featuring Lisa Millett.
I see the money is your to make it right. But I can tell that this has turned you inside out. Walk the path, make it right. Have the strength of mind to know you only get one life. Is it up to me to make it right? But I can tell that this has turned you inside out. Walk the path, make it right. Have the strength of mind to know you only get one life.
Number 4 of our 5 for the Future recommendations. It's on Milk and 2 Sugars. It's one of them. It's One Life. And finishing off, he's been quiet for a while, but he's back now. Here comes Quiver. A fitting way to end, and I'm sure we'll be doing a lot more of it over the weekend, dancing in dark rooms from Quiver. Don't forget to join me, Pete Tong, for the official start to the weekend tomorrow night from 7 p.m. I'll be live from the University of Central Lancashire Students' Union in Preston.